with families on what is so often in the wealth management space called the soft issues, but I actually think they're the hardest issues of all, so I call them the human issues of wealth. And my journey to that began, I call myself a recovering trust and estates lawyer, so really had 3 chapters of my career. First chapter was practicing law, drafting wills and trusts and whatnot. And at some point along the way, I had that eureka moment where I said, there's more I can be doing for families beyond just drafting their estate planning documents. And that's when I went in-house to a wealth management trust company, and I served as fiduciary counsel there, and really had one of those aha moments when I was there. And you can visualize the scene. Many of you have probably been in this movie before. So picture this mahogany conference room with the plush rugs and the beautiful fixtures and the floral centerpiece and the whole 9 yards. And a couple from the Midwest who had just had an enormous liquidity event came in, and they invited one person from every department to make a pitch. If only you were a client of ours, here's all the wonderful things that we would do for you. And I'm sitting there watching as the business development guy is talking to the husband and going through the pitch book. And I'm watching as the investment guy is talking to the husband and going through his presentation about investment performance. And then I'm watching as the tax guy is talking to the husband and going through all these tax strategies. And what's wrong with this picture? Obviously, nobody's talking to the wife. And I'm the only other woman in the room, and I am watching her completely unengaged, counting ceiling tiles, checking her watch, checking her phone. Nobody's paying attention to her. And when my turn came to speak, I lasered in on her and I said, tell me, I'll call her Mary, tell me, Mary, what keeps you up at night? And what she said rocked my world and changed my focus forever. She said, well, you know, we live in a small town in the Midwest, and we just had this enormous liquidity event. And I have 2 teenage sons who were suddenly the most popular kids in school. Everyone wants to be their friend, all the girls want to date them, you can only imagine. And she said, and I'm new to this wealth too, and I'm scared to death that they're going to lose their way, that they are going to lose their incentive to make something of themselves. And I could really use some guidance on what are other families doing? That's what everybody wants to know. What are the keys to success for other families who have successfully navigated this journey of raising kids in an atmosphere of wealth and having them grow up to be competent and confident stewards of wealth? And out of that encounter, I created a series of Women in Wealth workshops, which of course now everyone and their brother does. But this was back in 2000, and I'm proud to say that it came out of a real client need. And then that branched out into next-gen workshops, and ultimately I left that wealth management firm, joined a single-family office, and a little over 10 years ago, I launched my firm, Wealth Legacy Advisors, which I describe as a thought partner to families of wealth, and they're trusted advisors on these kinds of human issues that keep families up at night. And what keeps families up at night, unless it's a really volatile day in the markets, it's probably not your investment. Bless you. It's probably not your taxes unless you just got a letter from the IRS. What keeps most families up at night is, again, how do I raise my kids or my grandkids to become competent and confident stewards of wealth? And I see some nodding in the audience, because those really are the areas that are so critical.